Hey, how's it going? It's Keith Townsend from the CTO Advisor, and I'm joined with two special guests from HPE. First, thanks HPE for sponsoring the CTO Dose at Discovery 2019 in beautiful Las Vegas, Ashish and Diane. You guys have big announcements from the show. First off, Ashish, how long have you been at HPE in your title?
So I'm Ashish Prakash. I'm the VP and GM for the Cloud Data Services part of the business as part of HPE Storage. I've been at HPE 2.5 years, and I got to HPE via the Nimble Storage acquisition. I joined Nimble about 6.5 years ago.
Yeah, the Nimble. There's some exciting storage news. I'll let my storage guys tackle on that, but great acquisition by HPE. Then Diane?
My name's Diane Gonzalez, and I also, like Ashish, started out at Nimble Storage. I am his technical marketing engineer for Cloud Data Services, so I do whatever he tells me to do.
So
Don't remember
very
that.
passionately.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, we're being recorded, right?
Yes.
So, first off, we're not here to talk about storage in the traditional sense.
Sure.
We're going to talk about storage, but we're going to talk about storage in the form of the partnership that you guys announced with Google. What's the elevator pitch? What have you guys announced with Google?
So the key thing is, it is truly a hybrid and multi-cloud solution for containerized workloads. That's groundbreaking and industry leading. There's nobody else that can do that. The partnership offers a solution to customers that have some of their infrastructure running on premises, some of it could be running in any cloud. HPE provides the data plane for that with Nimble Storage and Reliant servers on premises and cloud volumes in the cloud. Anthos, which is a collection and portfolio of services that Google provides for container orchestration, provides the control plane for it. So customers can get the same experience whether they're deploying any infrastructure on-prem or in the public cloud and across multiple clouds.
So you've kind of struck a nerve in a conversation I've been having throughout the industry.
Sure.
Like, this term multi-cloud has been extremely fungible up to this point. And I'm trying to draw a line in the sand and say multi-cloud isn't about necessarily managing workloads from one cloud provider to another cloud provider, but accessing data from multiple cloud providers. You know, we talked about in an earlier session managing data.
Correct.
And the challenges of managing data across clouds. If you have data in a SaaS provider or in your data center or in a multiple IaaS providers, managing workloads is a challenge, but managing data is the biggest challenge. So, you know, what are some of the problems you're solving around data management with the solution?
You're exactly right, Keith. I think data has gravity, and to move it and copy it around costs time and money. Right? And applications and workloads require access to that data for the appropriate life cycle of that data with the appropriate SLAs. Right? So if it's being actively accessed by any workload, you need low latency. Right? The idea of multi-cloud, like you point out, is being able to use the best of breed applications across cloud providers with access to the data simultaneously and in real time, without having to copy it in and out, without having to pay egress costs. And you extend that to on-premises and private cloud or to colos, and you truly have a hybrid cloud story in the broadest sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he hit the nail on the head. To bring it down to the kind of technical and cost level, what we're really talking about is egress, right? It's not just egress, but the challenge and time of moving the data, and it's usually copied across the internet, right? So there's a security problem there as well. And we address that. We address that because we don't have to move the data. We can actually present it across all the clouds. The only time we move the data is when we're moving it from on-premises, obviously, to the cloud, and we do that seamlessly and securely through our built-in replication. So again, we provide that data path.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So you guys come from Nimble. I get all this cool data analytics from my Nimble appliances. HPE just announced the new Tier 0 solution with Nimble integrated in it. And more importantly, all the rage, especially when you talk about cloud, is around HCI. You guys announced dHCI when it comes to the ability to have Nimble file services, data analytics on a HCI format. What if I want my the foundation of my cloud structure to be based off this consistent view of data.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the applications that use and consume storage and data management, it's more, like you said earlier, it's about managing the data. What do we mean by that? The ability to provide a consistent set of services from provisioning, snapshots and backup, rapid cloning to be able to take point-in-time copies of it and present them rapidly, recovery of it, replication with encryption securely, right, bidirectionally in an efficient way. So it's about efficiency and providing that rich data management suite and capabilities and exposing it in the same way, whether you're running in the public cloud or on-prem. That's what.
Yeah. And when you talk about dHCI, since we brought up Anthos, right? Where dHCI in particular fits in nicely with the Anthos solution, it's a validated design for running the GKE on-prem, right? So a component of Anthos is powered by Kubernetes. It's the Google Kubernetes engine on premises. That's going to be running on dHCI. So now imagine this, right? We've got the data plane that we talked about, the ability to move the data seamlessly from on-premises to the cloud. We now have this converged solution tightly coupled where I can scale out my capacity or my compute as needed. Right? But here's the key. It's running Kubernetes, which means I'm now building cloud native on-prem in the same space that I have my legacy applications. So I can take these legacy applications, I can refactor them, rebuild them, cloud native on-prem, and then with the management features that we bring to the table, with our Cloud Volumes integration, I can then move them to the cloud, move them to any cloud, including the staple data that's attached to those workloads.
So let's talk about a lot of information on the data plane. I understand the data plane, but let's talk about the control plane. What if I like the Google control plane and I want my developers to use the Kubernetes APIs as envisioned by Google or provided by Google? How do I do that on-prem?
Excellent.
Exactly right. That's the point of this solution.
Because what we've actually done is all of the storage management, the end user doesn't see that. They're working through the native Google control plane, right? For the application stack. Whenever they're building or they're composing an application as code, right? They're essentially building what's called a YAML, maybe a little technical here, but it's essentially a bunch of text. And that text has got a lot of definitions, and that's what calls those APIs, that integration is what handles all of the storage data management. But to the developer, they're just using Kubernetes.
They don't see a nimble array, they don't see Cloud Volumes.
Yeah. All they see is their development interface. And it's the same on-prem, it's the same in the cloud, it's the same in any cloud. Right?
Wow, and Antonio started out the keynote yesterday by saying cloudless. I don't know if there's anything cloudless about that announcement. If people want to find out more about this partnership, where do they go?
So we've got a few blogs, of course, after the announcement. We've got some validated designs. Diane's put together some excellent demos that showcase these in specific use cases around hybrid CI/CD pipelines, multi-cloud CI/CD pipelines, hybrid cloud DR, and being able to move workloads around. And so, by the way, the solution works for containerized workloads as well as virtualized workloads, particularly with VMware vVols, with dHCI and Cloud Volumes. It's a very comprehensive solution. So we have a series of blog posts, videos. We'll be doing some social media. So I think there's, the announcement was the first thing, and I think we'll follow it up with more and more detail on both Google side and our side.
That's right.
And as we get reference accounts and reference customers, we'll do case studies and point those out. Excited about this journey forward. Google have been a great partner to work with, technically and on the go-to-market side. And I think the cultures of the two companies are really, really close. And the working relationships we have at a technical level and a business level have been excellent so far.
Ashish and Diane, I really appreciate you guys coming on to the CTO Dose. Again, we thank HPE for sponsoring this episode of the CTO Dose. You want to learn more about the CTO Advisor, you can visit us on the web, thectoadvisor.com. You can find more CTO Dose videos by subscribing to this YouTube channel or LinkedIn channel, or again, going to thectoadvisor.com. Talk to you next CTO Dose.
Thank you very much, Keith.
Thank you so much.